Hello, and welcome to Pinpoint. We're very excited to have you as a new member of the Pinpoint family. In this video, we'll be reviewing all the steps necessary to get your Pinpoint system up and running. But before we start, you're going to need three things. First, a list of your administrators, the small group of people that will have the ability to trigger Pinpoint alerts for your community. Second, a list of personnel that will be loaded into your Pinpoint system. This will include all staff, administrators, teachers, students, security, and anyone else you want in the database. In addition to the first and last names, we'll also need a unique identifier, like a staff ID number, and a cell phone number or email address for each user you want to receive Pinpoint notifications. And finally, a breakdown of your campus, including names for all buildings and rooms in each one of those buildings. Once you have your three lists, it's time to log in and get started. Head to the Pinpoint website at pinpoint.us. Click the Login button and enter the credentials that were provided to you. This will take you to the Pinpoint dashboard. The menu on the left side allows you to start an event, which is where we start every time you log in. View a history of previous events. Use the Broadcast Center for non-emergency communications if you've signed up for that, and then School Settings. This is where we're going to focus on for now. We'll come back to the other options in the next video. Under School Settings, click on Administrators. This is where we'll enter the people that will have that ability to trigger Pinpoint alerts for your community. Since you already have a login, you should already be on this list. Adding the next administrator is as simple as clicking the blue Add button. A window will pop up asking a variety of questions. Go ahead and enter the desired email and password for login, as well as the name and phone number. Active and inactive allow you to keep users as admins and activate or deactivate their abilities at any time. For now, let's make sure our new administrators are active. Then, just click Submit. Repeat this process for any additional personnel. Once you're done loading in all your admins, we're ready to move on to your users. Under School Settings, now click on Users. Like we mentioned before, this list will include all staff, administrators, teachers, students, security, and anyone else you want in the database. But before we start, I want you to take special note of the Select User Type dropdown. Depending on what type of entity you are, these options may vary. If your Pinpoint system is for a school, you may have options for teachers and students. If it's a business, it may focus on security and employees. Everyone entered into your Pinpoint system will need to be assigned a user type from this dropdown. Something to keep in mind as we move forward. Okay, we have some options on how to add new users. If your list is small and you want to enter them one at a time, just click the blue Add button. This will open a screen very similar to the one we use to add our administrators. This is where the list you already prepared will come in handy. Enter a unique ID number, name, select a user type, mark as active, and then, if this is a person you want to receive Pinpoint alerts, enter a cell phone number, email address, or both. Groups is a little bit more of an advanced function, and we'll save that for later. Once everything has been filled out, just click Submit. All right, that's the slow way to enter users. A faster way is to use a CSV file. CSV stands for comma separated value, but is just a techno phrase for a database file. These files open in Microsoft Excel or a similar program. The easiest way to get started is to click the Download Current CSV File button, even if you have already loaded some names using the Add button. You will get the option for downloading the building or user CSV, and we want to start with the user. Your browser will give you a pop-up asking what you want to do with the file. Go ahead and open it, or save it somewhere where you can find it easily. Once you have the file open, you will notice 8 columns. Everything is arranged perfectly for submission back to the Pinpoint system. If you create your own CSV from scratch, make sure it's laid out exactly like this. This is where you're going to enter all the data for all of your users. A couple of things to make sure of. Under User Type, make sure that what is filled in matches one of the options in the Select User Type dropdown that we pointed out earlier exactly. The system will throw an error if it sees something there that it doesn't recognize. Make sure every staff ID is unique. It can be numbers, letters, or a combination, but there can't be any repeats. This ID number identifies this user inside the Pinpoint system. Middle name is optional, but make sure every user's full first name and last name is entered. Make sure all email addresses are valid, and phone numbers should be entered with just numbers, no parentheses or dashes. Once your spreadsheet is completely filled in, save the file, but make sure to save it in a CSV file, not Excel or anything else. Now it's time to upload your user list into the Pinpoint database. One more thing to keep in mind when you upload a new CSV file, it overwrites whatever has been entered previously. This means your new CSV file will replace whatever users are already there. So make sure the file is complete with all the users you want in the system before uploading. When you're ready, go back to the Pinpoint dashboard and click the Upload New CSV File button. Choose the CSV file based on its location on your computer, and once the upload is finished, you should see your full list of users with ID numbers, user types, and contact info. Nicely done! If you have any trouble with this process, please feel free to reach out to our support team for assistance. Getting this right is absolutely crucial to the success of your Pinpoint system. Okay, now it's time to move on to your campus. Click the Campus button in the menu on the left. This is where we're going to add all the buildings and rooms into Pinpoint. You may just have a single building with a handful of rooms, or a large campus with users in hundreds of potential locations. The trick is to make sure you have considered every possible place a user could find themselves during an emergency. You want Pinpoint to be as simple and quick as possible for your users, and that means making sure they have the appropriate options right at their fingertips. As you can see, this process is very similar to entering your users. We can add buildings one at a time with the Add button, and once you have a building entered, you can click Room List to then add or modify rooms in that building. If you have a small number of locations, this is probably the easiest way to get things set up. But if you have a larger campus, another CSV file is probably the way to go. We'll do things the same way. Click Download Current CSV, and this time choose the Building CSV. Open the file, and you will see 2 simple columns, Building Name and Room Name. Enter the name of each building, and then enter the names of each room in that building. Make sure every line has both a building and a room listed. Also make sure that every time a particular building is listed, it is spelled exactly the same way. If one line has Baker Hall and another has Bakers Hall, they will show up to users as 2 different options. Once you have all the fields loaded, we're ready to upload, and it's the same process. Save the file as CSV, go back to the Pinpoint site, and under Campus, click Upload New CSV File. Once the upload is complete, you now have your campus fully loaded into the Pinpoint system. Okay, we're almost done. The last step in your setup process is to adjust your notification settings. Click Notification Settings in the menu, and you will be presented with a variety of options. Basically, this allows you to choose who gets notified on the type of event that you're triggering. There may be times when you want certain groups notified, but not others, and times when you want everyone to receive a Pinpoint notification. Once again, you'll see all the user types that are set up with your system. Simply check the boxes of the user types you want notified in each scenario and click the appropriate Update button. Once that's finished, let's just double-check all our entries to make sure we're in good shape. Click on Administrators and make sure you have everyone who is supposed to be able to trigger Pinpoint events on the list. Click on Users and make sure everyone you want accounted for in an emergency are listed and have appropriate user types and contact information. Then click Campus and make sure all your buildings and rooms are listed and available for your users to check in with. Does everything look good? Great! You are all set up. We are so happy you've decided to join the Pinpoint family and hope that our system makes it just a little easier to deal with any challenging situations your group may face. In the next video, we're going to run through how administrators will actually manage Pinpoint events, and then we'll explore how Pinpoint functions from the user perspective. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to our support team or visit our website at pinpoint.us.